Hello and welcome to the review of the second match of H2H7 Week 1 between the Robber Barons and the Italian Stallions. Brought to you this time by version 1 by me. And first of all, I have to say this, if you have Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 and you want to really get a look at these parks and how good they are and so on, please download them on New Elements. Most important of all, there is custom music with both parks that I haven't featured in this video because I don't capture the sound for different reasons. So yeah, just download it and add the custom music to the parks. So I'm gonna begin with Raptor, the park by the Robber Barons. It is a recreation of Raptor in Cedar Point. No, I haven't been to Cedar Point, so I can't really say too much about the realism of it. But from what I have seen on the on-ride video of the real Raptor, it all kind of it really looks spot on. Yeah, the whole park is, I think, really well made. With a lot of new objects that they did with you know, some really nice buildings. I think especially diagonal buildings, because they are always, some of them look like crap. Like this building is a little bit too glitchy for my taste because it's diagonal, but this one is really working well. And it's just a really clean park. Like if you look at it, there's not that much glitching. If you compare it, there are these shadows which are awesome. There is this carousel which is really well done, and the sky ride has a turnaround here so that it works, and you know it's all working, and that's what I really like about this park. Like this laser tag thing, having a queue and you know, guys running around inside it, or having two queues would be the better word. The better, yeah, and yeah, it's just great that they took the time to theme all the insides of the buildings. I think it adds a lot to the park. So from what I've seen on Google Maps, this is the entrance of the park itself, somewhere here. So keep that in mind if you haven't been to Cedar Point and stuff. That this is a really good representation of what it looks like, at least from the air. Like, as I said, I was never there, so I can't say if every detail of this building is correct, but the layout itself is correct, and I think that's the most important thing. With the little part of Blue Street coming out, which is really nice. The street, from a recreational standpoint, this is really well done. With the queue going everywhere. And yeah, like the park probably profits most if you were there already. Like that's like something that kind of that sucks for me, because like as I said, I was never there, so I've never been there. So it's kind of hard to me to say, whoa, these buildings are insanely good, because the buildings themselves aren't great, but it's like maybe the buildings in the real park aren't great as well. In this block of buildings, like I can't tell, so it's kind of hard for me to judge the park, but it's an incredibly well done park. I think there's no argument there. The coaster, I will ride the coaster or with the coaster one time, because I had some people saying that I should do it in the past. So obviously it's a recreation of one of the best, or from what I've heard, one of the best inverted coasters in the world. And yeah, so the track is pretty accurate, it's pretty spot on. Of course, you can't always do it perfectly because it's RCT, and RCT just lacks a lot of functions to make it work pretty well. Like, yeah, especially first drop is always a bitch to do, because yeah, you can't go these long downward turns that are used for most inverted coaster. Yeah, so let's look at it to see how the flow is. I think the flow is really good. The pacing is really nice. Just the whole recreation is just really well done. This last helix, which I've heard is great. Yeah, so the entrance is diagonal as well. Yeah, and, you know, it's a really well done park. I love all the small details in the buildings, outside of the buildings. Although, as I said, you don't really know. This is for, I mean, this thing alone is pretty awesome. That you have literally a queue for guys who want to eat, and the buffet being part of a ride or something. In Midway Market profit line. That's so well done. I just love when people take the time to really do queues for things like stalls or something, or not stalls, but you know what I mean. This building is very blue. That's like the as I said, it might be that it's like this in real life, but it's just so blue. It's too much blue, I guess. Like the blue, yeah, the blue wood here makes it really hard to like, and the glitching also. And it's just so blue. Like if you zoomed out like that is the first building you will notice, because it's so blue. Yeah, but as I said, I hope someone who has watched, who has been to Cedar Point can say that this is accurate. In the YouTube comments, it would be, at least it would be nice to have the service to our viewers who are not in on New Element. And this queue, there's so much going on, and that's really what I like most about the park. It has like 1,700 guests, and you know, there's just a lot going on, and that's always a great thing. I mean, this laser tag with the smoke and the lights, and they're all where there are rides walking, going, and there are lights blinking and stuff here. It just is a, you know, a living park, and that's what I really like about it. And well, this is a pretty good resume for watching, looking into the next park, which is Sulil by the, I hope I said it right, by Italian Stallions. It is basically an elvish town, an elvish castle, which has been turned into a tourist attraction. So it's kind of a mix of fantasy and non-fantasy in my eyes. So yeah, it's largely a fantasy theme. With this is the entrance, and then you have this big city. The idea is that the city is built about those crystals because they are needed for powerful magic or something like that, and that's why there are these magic things coming out of some towers. So it's a really landscapey park with maybe the most beautiful drop tower ever, this Sword in the Stone, because it's really well themed. It's incredible that, as far as I know, nobody ever came up with that, because that's really simple, but really fits it well. And of course there is the source, which is of course the source of the magic, and it's a B&M dive machine. So I'm kind of waiting for it to go. Like before it goes, I can just show you the castle, which the problem is about the castle. At the first look, it's kind of hard to know to get where all of this is in comparison to each other, like the wall and the castle itself. It's just a little bit weird. I mean, this side is fine, but the other side is just like, yeah, you don't know how far this wall is away from this part if you when you look at it the first time. But the castle itself is fine, I guess. Like especially these parts, it's nice architecture. It's well done. It's a launched coaster. I haven't caught on that on the first time, but I guess for me it doesn't really make a difference. Yeah. What it does make is it makes the coaster a little bit too fast in some places, I think. Which is not great to say it as much, but you know, so it's going to turn here. I think my favorite part of the map, I looked at it yesterday for a longer time, is this whole thing here, these buildings, the little haven, this floating tower on the floating island. This is just well done, I think. The balloons are always nice. Just build balloons in your parks. What I don't like so much about this map is that there's not too much going on. Like basically it's the opposite of Raptor, because I mean there's one ride, there's like two or three rides in this park and not that many peeps, and the architecture is just so so confusing in some way that the whole park just looks empty and a little bit lifeless, I think. And the architecture itself, it's hard to get the point of the individual buildings. And I mean, all the buildings are kind of nice, but it's all kind of chaotic, and because you have no rides or yeah, you have basically nothing to ground it in some way in a real theme park, which is always the nice. Like even in fantasy, it's always nice to see real theme park attractions like here. I mean, this is a pretty perfect example of a theme park attraction turned into a fantasy thing that fits in a park. And you know, that's what I'm looking forward to in fantasy parks, and I think Tenochtitlan did a really good job. And this, well, it has this kind of ride, and the coaster, and this, and the Salt and Stone, and that basically was it, I think. Let's see. The escape chute is, I have no idea why it's standing there, because it feels just so displaced at this point of the castle. Like this red slide. Not the biggest fan. I don't know what invisible is, but if I click there I get an arrow trooper, so I won't do that. Yeah, I think I had a little bit higher hopes when I opened it the first time, this park. I mean, some things really look great. Like this windmill looks really well, especially from the back. I'm not the biggest fan of it from the front for some reason, but the back looks really nice. And you know, this bridge looks great, and the castle walls and the castle itself. This little tower. Yeah, this little tower is maybe a little bit too simple. A lot of square towers. That's, yeah. So yeah, I know who I'm gonna vote for. I mean, I'm sorry for those who are on the team that I'm voting for, but I think for me there's a clear favorite in there. But this pack is still really good. And I think I will wrap up this video because we are trying to do it a little bit shorter this time around. That's one reason why we're doing it alone, I guess. Like MCI didn't really tell me that we were gonna do this alone, but apparently we do. So yeah, I hope you tune in for the match 3 review, whoever is gonna do that. And yeah, be busy building RCT. That's all I can command you to do. So goodbye.